Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks. And yeah, I was about to say it's a random destruction, which is what I was originally going to do, but it's not. Yeah, Tiger 2, King Tiger of Tier 8. And the reason I think I've done this is, you know, I really do like the Tiger 2. I have done for a while actually. In fact, pretty much since I first got it. And apart from the stock turret on it, it's not a particularly unpleasant grind. You know, you've got quite capable guns. It can get a bit troublesome in higher tiers when you've got the long 88 or whatever. But like I say, once you've got the fully upgraded turret, it's a relatively smooth grind from sort of that point. And yeah, I've decided to basically grind through this and get to the E75, which I'd been sort of putting on hold a little bit. I wasn't far off. I was about 32,000, I think, something like that away. And I think I'm now about 7,000 after yesterday. Just had a few games in this, but I got some very, very nice matchmaking yesterday, so I took advantage. I enjoyed myself and did a little bit of ruffle stomping, even though I do say so myself. But it just sort of got me thinking a bit more, because like I say, I've always enjoyed the Tiger, and personally, and you know, this is just my personal opinion and yours may differ, you know, that's fine. This is my, this is my opinion, that I think that the Tiger 2 is quite possibly the best tier 8 heavy in the game. And you know, it's not got the thickest armour, might not even do the most damage, but it's just a good combination of everything. It all just seems to come together to make a nice mix of firepower, armour and mobility. And you know, with firepower I'm including not only penning damage but also rate of fire as well. And like I said, I just think it all comes together to make a really nice package. And a really nice tier 8 heavy. So yeah, that's why I think the Tiger 2 is the best tier 8 heavy in the game, personally. Now, I know both of these replays are, you know, they are just tier 8 matches, and like I say, quite favourable towards me in sort of matchmaking terms, but it's just, I mean, when it is like this, you really can just stomp around the sort of battleground and really take people apart. With, you know, you do have to be a bit careful every now and again, but with a bit of angling and, you know, just a little bit of forethought, then you can kind of just sort of rule these games. But that's not all, because I also think that the Tiger 2 can hold its own in the tier 9 and 10 matches. You can't be as aggressive, not nearly as aggressive, but it seems to have enough armour and firepower to be able to play that supporting role in the higher tiers. You know, I mean, like I said before, your opinion may differ. If it does, you know, leave a comment. Let me know in the comments what you think is the best tier 8 heavy. Obviously, you know my opinion on it. And aimed a bit poorly at that IS, so I've ended up taking a hit from him. And he's managed to put one through my lower glacis, so I'm going to go for the side scraping instead. Being a bit careless against him, but that's him done. And yeah, T95E2. Now again, he'll be able to pen my lower glacis. It looks like he fired a heat then, although I could be wrong. And if he aims, he'll be able to hit my commander's hatch. Now, from the front, obviously you've got your lower glacis, but you've also got your commander's hatch. But there's not a terrible, you know, I mean, it's not like some tanks where you know, they've got a particular weak spot on the front, like the machine gun port or anything like that. It is basically just the commander's hatch, just the sort of lower glacis. The upper is about 100, I think it's 150mm, and it's got quite decent angling on it, so you can bounce quite a bit, like I say, just with a bit of an angle to your hull. But that's the thing, and it's the same. I mean, it's the same with any tank that you go in. It's learning what you do and don't have to be wary of, and what you do and don't have to be sort of afraid of. Well, not, yeah, kind of, if you get my meaning. And an Oni with, which guns he got there? Has he got the 10cm? If he has, he's got penning power. It kind of looks, yeah, he has. He's got the 10 centimetre. I don't know if it's the fully upgraded one. Can't quite tell from this angle. But, you know, he did bounce off my my upper glacis. And the pen on those isn't too bad, really. It's just about, you know, aiming for the weak spot on the front of the tiger, and the angle that I had the hole there. It was more than likely was going to bounce. But now he's dealt with. The team's, it's been pretty even, to be honest, so far. But a bit of a spoiler alert. You can, if you notice the battle ribbons, I've got 6 kills there. That's the Top Gun. And I screw myself out of a Radley Walters in this match, which, although it was a good match and it was a great result at the end of it, and again, you know, mostly due to the fact that I am top tier. Yeah, I was a bit careless, and this donk, I completely screwed that up, and yeah, did myself out of Bradley's. I do get another opportunity to get that elusive kill, that last 8th kill for the Radleys. However, rate of fire does me that. I know I've just said that the rate of fire on this is good, but sometimes, yeah, I think it's about 1.5 seconds I miss out by, which again was frustrating. I'm just waiting for that IS-3 to come back out of there, and he's not. He's turned around to deal with the Panther 88, so I'll just clipped his back end and sent him back to the garage. Now we've got a pretty much full health FV4202P, and you don't see many of those. It's only been available for sale in a bundle, I think it was, if I remember rightly, and it was a very expensive bundle. And the way that you got one basically was if you had the old, well, if you had the FV4202, the tier 10, you know, when it was the tier 10 British medium, when they replaced it with the Action 10. And if you did have it in your garage, you basically got it as a tier 8 premium. Obviously slightly nerfed, which is understandable because it was now a tier 8, not a tier 10. But yeah, you got it in your garage as a free tier 8 premium, which was quite nice for the people that did. And I just missed out on the kill from him. Artie gave him a good old slap in the back, and yeah, big old engine deck like the Centurion, so if you hit that with Artie, you're done. And I just couldn't quite get the reload to take down the OI, which was unfortunate because that would have been my 8th kill for the Radley Walters. So yeah, kicking myself that I completely donked that shot on the Cromwell. I popped round the corner, went to click on the auto aim, being a bit cocky and overconfident, and didn't press it quite hard enough, so I completely messed that one up. But I still came out of it with a high caliber, an ace tanker, a devastator and a Top Gun, and well, nearly 4,300 damage done, and a nice round 1,600 blocked as well. But the T-34, he had a good game as well. The Panther 88 had a decent game, and I'd say the top sort of 3 or 4 of us really carried that match. But it was good fun. Definitely good fun yesterday in this. I did have a couple of tier 9 and 10 games, and I did alright in them. I had a tier 10 game, I think I came 2nd in it. And would have liked to have done a bit more, but I basically got surrounded. The sort of defence near me crumbled, and as I was trying to rescue somebody else, I couldn't quite rescue this Super Sherman in time. Again, rate of fire. The reload just not quite quick enough, even though it's a good rate of fire on this. It just wasn't quite quick enough, and then I got surrounded, and that put an end to me in that one. But anyway, here we are for another one. Again, another tier 8 match. Like I say, I just had very, very nice matchmaking on this yesterday. You know, I'm under no illusions that all this was down to my fantastic skill. You know, some of it, you know, there's a bit of skill involved, but it, you know, a lot of this came down to very favourable matchmaking, as it quite often can in World of Tanks. And it's just one of those things, you know, you could be in a tier 9 or 10 game in a tier 8, and you can still have a great game if you play it properly, and sometimes you have a great game because you just happen to run into the other tier 8s in the match. Sometimes you can have a crap game because, you know, you go one way thinking, well, where are the tier 10s least likely to go or whatever, and it turns out that they've all gone that way. You know, it's just one of those things. Look at the draw and all that. But this one's an assault, and I can't remember the last time I was on an attacking team on an assault on Siegfried Line. I always seem to have been on the defenders recently. Now, I've taken down one of the RT, couldn't quite get a hit on the other one, and I think I would like to get rid of the RT, because out of the stuff that's in here, apart from this KV2 with his HE shells, which can do me a bit of damage, even if they don't pen, the RT, I think, are probably my biggest threat, or one of them. Simply because as soon as I'm spotted, they can start dropping shells onto me. And if they manage to, you know, they've only got to hit the top of my turret or the engine deck once, they're more than likely to pen and do a hell of a lot of damage. But not many of us seem to have come around this way. Most of the heavies seem to have pushed into the town. There's a couple of TDs behind me and a light tank over on the right. But I'm going to push down this side. One, because if I push into the town, you know, there's the possibility I could get surrounded. I'm not saying I will. But over here, I'm out on the fringe. I can get into a position where I'd like to be. I'm not entirely happy about trying to cross this bit though, because there is, well, there's a medium and a heavy down there who were paying attention to me. I mean, the medium's just a boilermaker. Well, I say just a boilermaker. He can pen the side of my tank. He could still hit my ammo rack. He could still hit my engine. So I wasn't entirely happy about trying to get across there. Left the aim on that just a bit long. And that last arty managed to get away. But like I say, the reason I've pushed down this side is to get towards the eastern side of the map and try and get behind the defenders. And I do realise that I am pretty much on my own coming this way. Like I say, there is the TD behind me. The light tank's coming up now. But essentially, you know, for any heavy duty backup, I am basically on my own back here. But from where those heavies are just to the left of me on the edge of the town, nothing should come at me from the left hand side. So fingers crossed I shouldn't get surrounded, so I feel pretty safe in coming right down into here. But that T-28 prototype that I've just put a shot into, he is I'm a bit concerned about him. He's got about if he's fully upgraded, it's about 246 pen, something like that. Yeah, he went for my commander's hatch. Now, let's see what his rate of fire is. Yeah, that could be fully upgraded. His first one missed, and I'm wondering if he didn't have a shot at my hull, but that next one, that one did go through, and yeah, that Boilermaker and that Churchill, although they're not really bothering me, they have started to, well, track me. They've damaged my gun. The angle that I was at, that's why I pulled back a little bit, because they were just starting to get through and damage me as well. And then that bloody T-28 prototype put another one through me, and again, not sure if that wasn't a heat. Possibly, although I could be mistaken. Like I say, heat, you can tell from the tracer, it's I think it's like a whitish one, although I could be wrong on that one. But anyway, one of the easiest ways to tell, because sometimes you don't notice the tracer, especially if somebody's shot at you from the side or something, you might not see it properly. But there's usually sort of black smoke and a bit of a hiss. But anyway, that T-28, he did a lot of damage to me, and yeah, I definitely overstayed my welcome way before I actually moved. But, you know, I did keep getting tracked. Needed to back off, and yeah, the damage is done now, so now I'm just going to be very, very careful. And I was a bit overconfident against that AT. And he actually, well, I don't know if he penned me or if he used HE or what, but he did damage. And I was quite thankful that I did notice the Churchill coming round on me in time. And because of the angle, because of where the AT was shooting at me from, he couldn't get shots into me. And he's now occupied himself with one of the other friendly heavies. But unfortunately for him, he's given me his side and his rear. And, oh dear, Goranich. On a hell of a lot more health than I am. If I can just keep the Rex in between me and the Goranich long enough to try and take down the AT, and no. Nope, the Goranich has come round, but the easiest place to pen a Goranich, just there. On that big machine gun pole on the front. The bigger one is the easiest place. It's still rounded, so you've still got to try and hit it central. But it is probably the easiest place to pen, easiest place to pen them. And with the AT7 that I've just killed there, as you saw, the machine gun port on the left-hand side of the hull, or the right, as you're looking at it, is a weak spot, as well as the commander's hatch. So if you're in an AT7, try and jam it up against a building so you hide the left-hand side of your tank. You still leave your commander's hatch exposed, but you know it just reduces the chance of getting penned. There you go, that was it. All of a sudden, mission over. Somebody took out the T-28 prototype, and that was done. Came out of that with a high caliber. 5 kills, a first class mastery this time, not quite enough for an ace that time. Steel wall, just over 4,000 damage done. And a nice 3,150 blocked. There you go. Like I said, I was going to do this as random destruction, but I thought I'd just change the title and do it as a sort of Tiger 1 and just sort of give you my reasons why I think, you know, the Tiger 2, why I personally think the Tiger 2 is the best tier 8 heavy. But again, you know, let me know what you think is the best tier 8 heavy in the comments. I'd be interested to see that. But there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that anyway. I definitely enjoyed doing it. Like I say, it's not often you get matchmaking like that, and it was sort of match after match, so I was quite happy with that one. But I'll be back later with another video, so until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.